But yeah, like I was saying earlier,
Yeah.
like I don't think the setup of having it in here all the time is very sustainable. I was literally thinking, like, when we were driving over here, like how sick it would be to have it like just pop off in like the industrial estate or something and just find some like back alley, find a light to sit under.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I think it works here. Like literally chill setup, just go with the flow.
That's the thing, is to be really comfortable.
I couldn't be more comfortable.
Don't fall asleep in the middle of this, yeah.
No worries, that's cool.
How you been anyway?
Literally just been cooling, man. Like, it's what it is every day. Another day, another dollar. Been skating a lot.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've been going.
You had a week off, so I'm assuming you pretty much...
Wow, there's a story behind that. I had a week off after having like 10 days off.
Yeah.
Because of this C word, you know.
Yeah,
I had it. And then, I was off for 10 days, just isolating, reflecting over a lot of stuff.
Do you think it was from that gig?
Yeah, I don't regret it though. Literally, I went there on the Sunday in London. Don't know the exact location. It's for the Cortez clothing brand. And basically a bunch of us rolled there, just like a bar, music, all of that stuff. And then I was having a time of my life, you know, a few cans, all that stuff. And then on the Tuesday, fell ill. Like I was at work, I was in Wimbledon and I didn't even drive, so I couldn't drive home. I was with my my boss sort of type thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, I can't work, you know. I was so slumped. I felt like I'd been hit by a train or something. And then next day, literally, I just couldn't get out of bed. It sucked.
Did you get any of like the main symptoms? Like
aches and pains, that was one thing. And then I sort of had to force myself out of bed. I was getting fevers, I was hot and cold. But
could you get out, like, were you getting out of bed every day again, at least get down to like a sofa?
I had to force myself out of bed. The thing is, if you stay in bed too long, it's like, oh, it's long, don't want to get out, sort of thing.
Yeah. If you're stuck in it, it just gets worse, doesn't it? If you just,
it's a trap. It's a big trap. How have you been?
Well, not dancing with the devil in terms of COVID, luckily.
Yeah, man.
But now, like, I had a busy one a couple of weeks ago, sorting kind of just life in general out. But like now the time's ticking for uni. Like I'm in the month where this month I will be going to university, and it's the first time I've been in education for 7 years.
Yeah, it's like back to school.
Literally, I've already had the back to school dreams. Do you ever used to have them? Like,
oh man, those were the days.
Horrible, bro.
It's when you thought life was hard and you get to 18 and you're like, oh, okay, wasn't that hard.
Well, that's what I'm hoping. Like if I go back, just life feels a bit simpler.
No, of course. Like you just got to go with it, man. Do what's best for you. Stay productive. That's like the hardest thing nowadays is staying productive. So much going on. Just get caught up in things. But bro, live your best life, bro.
I mean, yeah, you're a pretty driven gentleman. You have drive to you that I don't see in many. Tell me, how did Scurv come about? How did you even? So basically,
let me start from like school days, basically. So I was brought up in London, right? West London.
Whereabouts?
Like a town called Hanwell. It's near like Ealing Broadway.
Yeah.
All of those places. Right. So when I moved up here in 2006, Hertfordshire, I was 10 and I was like, I don't have no homies, have to start from scratch. That's where I met Luke.
Nice.
Like he's a proper little skater boy, like had hair down to his...
So did you go to school in
Priory?
Bedford?
Hitchin, yeah, mixed school.
Swear.
And I met Luke. He was literally some skater boy. His hair was so long. It's like one of them, you know, like them classic skater boys.
I used to hear stories about Luke before I met him.
Yeah.
Like, just like Hannah, Robert H-Town. Even like, I remember I'd see Luke come in and like everyone was chatting to him. And he was like, "You all right, guys?" He's so sound. I love him.
He's a people's person, man, definitely. But yeah, I met him when I was 10. He got me onto a board the first time. And then after that, I gave it a rest until I was like, I don't know, 21. I didn't come back to skating until I was like, a few years ago.
Yeah.
And then basically we kept on coming up with great ideas. And we was always like, I don't know, being productive, but we wasn't doing anything with our ideas. So we came up with like concepts and this, that, and the other. And we used to meet up at King George's car park all the time and just chat like in the car, literally just me and him. And then eventually we was like, should we just do something with our ideas? And we were like, yeah, bro, like what should we do? And it took us like ages to come up with a name for the clothing line. And eventually we were checking, we was like, oh, can we have that? Oh no, that's gone. Can we have that? No, it's not available. Yeah. And then we came up with Scurv. So how that originated is originally we came up with Scurvy, but you know, it's not as attractive because it's obviously named after like a disease or something. So how we came to it was scurvy. The symptoms of it are like sort of aches and pains, sore in the legs, arms. Yeah. And we could kind of relate that to skateboarding. And because of the aches and pains, always pushing yourself. So we shortened it to Scurv. And I don't know, I haven't done my research, but like one of the remedies or something for it was like citrus fruit, lemons. Yeah. So when Luke mocked up the logo, he drew a big lemon, like just like, it wasn't detailed, it was just like an outline silhouette of a lemon. And then he put Scurv in each of the, what do you call those sections in like the fruit? I guess, is there a word for that?
I guess it's just like pieces, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
Segments?
Segments, okay, I'll rock with that. So basically 5 of the segments at the top of the lemon was like SCURV. And then the motto was like, not perfect. Like, we just ran with it. And then now, it's probably been about 2 years deep now. We started off with t-shirts, just stickers. Then we moved on to sort of like just other apparel, hoodies, gilets, all that good stuff, man. Starting to pop out a lot of boards now. But yeah, me and Luke go back. It's just something that started from early, and it was obviously in all perfect time, and it just happened.
Yeah, you just meet a guy to bounce ideas off.
Yeah, of course.
I remember, so back when, like, I think we had the same sort of like, you have, what's the word? You go in hiatus. You know, you don't skate for a while. I used to skate with Brooker back when I was young. Brooker excelled. You know, dude,
he's crazy.
We used to go trampolining together. Like, dude, like I think the grades were like, I was grade 7. In the time it took me to get to grade 9, he got to like grade 14. Yeah. And he was just like, and then like he got on a board. He used to skate when I was on the trampoline or when someone else was on the trampoline, he'd go out the back of the center and he'd be skating in the car park. Like he was just doing it all the time.
He's ridiculous.
But I remember like, cause there was definitely when I was younger, like I think I got into skating because people just did it, and I was like, yeah, I'll do that. And for a minute, I was like, wait, what actually should I be doing? And I remember I found out about longboarding, and I saw longboarding on YouTube. And like originally, like I always thought longboarding was just these weird blokes at the skate park who would do like little twizzly stuff. Yeah, I didn't realize that there's guys like in full face helmets bombing hills at like 70 miles an hour. I was like, that's what I like.
Literally, bro. I've seen the footage of the longboarders. Like, I see a lot of females involved as well now. That's one thing I like to see on the scene. Like,
well, there's loads, because there's different, with longboarding, there's like a different type of thing to suit everyone. So like, you know, there's like freestyle, downhill, even like long distance longboarding, like just trekking on a longboard is a thing. Dancing, which is kind of like the longboard version of like freestyle. It's
crazy, man. It's just people excelling. Like you push yourself, literally.
But yeah, so like I got into this, and like I can't remember who I was chatting to someone at the time. I can't remember his name, but he designed me a logo, and I created a brand called Bombers Brand.
Oh yeah.
I was proper young, like I'm like 13, 14 making this.
Young hustler.
Yeah. And I had like a couple designs in the bank, and my second cousin, he had like I guess it was like some sort of weird like drop shipping site where basically he just hosted a couple brands on this website, and he was like, I'll do it all in house. You just send me your designs over. So like I think I released like 3 or 4 t-shirts. That was probably
That's cold. I bet no one else your age was doing that at that time, bro.
That's the thing, like it was solid for the CV, like stuck on the CV that I had like a brand on a website doing bits. And the thing is I didn't sell many, obviously.
But it's the thought that counts. When you start something.
Yeah, if you can do it, you can do it.
Yeah, like people see your results and stuff, and they think not to be stereotypical, but they just think it comes overnight. But things start, you got to start at some point. No time is a perfect time to start, you know what I mean? So as long as you've got it in you, in your system, to do something which is going to make you a better person, or just help out a community, or just make a statement, like literally that's all you need to do. There's no age to it at all. Like some people say, I'm too old for that. It's like, bro, grow up.
Have you heard that old Chinese proverb, second best time to plant a tree is now?
No.
I love that.
So that's the same principle.
In it, it's like, because I always think it now. Like I do like little side bits all the time. Like I play a little bit of piano in my spare time. Like just get into random little hobbies, even photography, for example. It was just like, especially with piano. Like I started playing and I was like, fuck, I wish my mum made me do this when I was like 11, or like even like a 6, you know, so I could be like, I've got friends who are like top grade, like really good.
Literally. Yeah, that's cool, man. Like sometimes with the parent thing though, like some parents are stern, like they're like, I'm gonna get my kid into this when I'm young, and sometimes the kid's like, oh, do I have to do it? Like I remember when I was young and I used to do, my dad would done like judo and stuff, and he got me into it a few times, and I just went there, but I wasn't feeling it. I was always like a footballer, and as soon as I made that statement, like they were literally showing up like every Sunday, every training session, like I was there. But no, the piano thing's dope. We was meant to pick up a piano. What happened to that?
COVID happened, bro.
Yeah, that definitely
got
happened.
Shot down, but nah, next jam, this piano's coming.
We need a live performance.
It'll be fucking sick, man.
You do the beat or the piano.
You need to get Lewis involved in that.
Oh man, you took the words out of my mouth.
He'd be so good.
We went to that festival in Connecticut.
Yeah.
That was a shutdown, bro.
Was that the Goat Fest?
Oh man, he was the goat.
I was so pissed I was away for that. It looked like it was a motive.
Like he was saying that it was like advertising it. It was coming closer and closer. He was like, you come in Friday. I'm like, what's going on Friday? It's like, the event, bro. I'm like, yeah, I'm there, bro. So I went there. Literally, there was 2 main stages. And as soon as he got on, he was like, right, everybody get to the front now. And he had like a beer can in his hand. He was just absolutely killing it. And he had like everyone's attention. It was just a nice night, man.
He's the most driven person I think I've ever met.
Yeah.
Dude's just like, I remember like from the get-go, when probably not the first time I met him, but I brought a mate down and my mate had his like, he was filming some clips for his showreel. Lewis eyeballs him straight away. He's like, what'd you do, mate? Did you do music videos? Instantly gets his details down. Like he's straight on it.
I remember that. He's a very dedicated man. Like the first time I met him was obviously at the park, skateboarding, and eventually seen him a few times. You know, when you see a face, you're like, right, let me see what this guy's about. I was just chatting to him and we just clicked, literally. And he's so busy, like doing stuff. He's the type of guy you don't see all the time, but he's just focusing on his graph. That's why. For sure. But I think that's what people need. They need a bit of, what do you call it? Like sacrifice or discipline. Yeah. If you've got a craft or you got a dream you want to chase or an image.
Discipline is key. Because that's the only thing, discipline's the only thing that can push through like your demotivated phases you have. And like, yeah, if anyone has it, he does. But like, I remember that, like, I can't remember how we originally started like properly talking, because obviously like we probably skated side by side over lockdown for a good couple months before it was like the formal exchange, you know what I mean?
I think you just gave me that look.
You know, eyeballed you over the
just
thing.
Just gaze into my eyes.
Who's this guy?
Like, who's this guy with the blonde hair? Like, just stylish. Literally. Yeah, it's a weird one. Like sometimes you don't remember how you meet people.
Was it the Jordans? I feel like it was the Jordans.
It was the Jordans, bro. Now that you bring it up, like we always wear the low ones.
Innit?
And I remember the first pair of Jordans I was skating, I was like, let me see what these Nikes are about. Because I'm always like Vans and all that shit. And I skated them. No, I wore them first. And then, you know, you get a bit of wear out of a shoe. And then you're like, okay, they're kind of creased now. What am I going to do with them? So I skated it. Best shoe. Yeah. Literally, like, the padding is minimal, but it's good. And then it's a flat shoe, yeah. And it lasted me like 6 months, like constantly skating. And I don't do switch. I don't really do nollie. So I was doing one stance all the time. Yeah. Well, I do now, but at that time, yeah. And it lasted me ages.
Literally, I mean, I never really, I blame my lack of just skate skill, but I don't wear through shoes that quick.
I get you, because the more you skate, the more you're going to shred. Different shoes, sometimes you pay more for shoes, which can be a bit durable, but you're going to be pissed if you like spend a rack on a shoe and it just deteriorates. You got holes in the bottom and shit.
I just buy like a used pair, you know.
Yeah, quick Depop thing, you know.
Exactly.
Easy. Me and you the same size.
Mate.
You could borrow my shoes, you know.
Anytime.
Literally, I tried on Vans today for the first time in a while, because since, you know, when I had that little accident with my foot and I was out for a little while, now I've come back, I've had to skate thick shoes, otherwise it's just not going to work.
Yeah.
But now that it's healed, I tried on Vans for the first time today, and bro, that's me.
Game changer.
Absolute game changer, bro.
Yeah, I think for now it's ones for me. Like
every day, bro.
It was completely because I was driving. I don't know if you remember, I was skating the One Stars for a while, and like my toe, like especially to like for kick flips, like I couldn't. The flick just wasn't happening. The day I picked up a pair of shattered backboard lows off of like some guy in Italy. And they were like, you know, used, a little bit worn already, no box, so I got them dirt cheap. And like, I remember you saw them. Sam saw them. And Sam was like, "There's no way you're skating them, bro." And I was just like, oh, eh.
"Yeah."
I got them for like nothing. So, but literally like day and night, felt so much better on foot.
Yeah, they're such a classy shoe. I'm so used to low top shoes that it just works for me now. A lot of people like ankle support and all that stuff, but yeah, it just works for me, man. Like Jordans. My next pair of shoes that I wear might be some Jordans. Who knows? If you got money like that, you know.
I just keep an eye on. I'm on eBay at all times. I haven't paid over £100 for a pair of Jordans yet.
Oh, you need to send me the link. Something.
Mate, it's right place, right time. That's all it is.
It is, man. Perfect opportunity.
Anyways,
I'm busy.
You're a footballer. What?
Well,
because this surprised me when I saw you at the party over there. It's like, I used to.
Yeah, I dabble in a bit of this, bit of that, you know. But yeah, it started when I was young. I used to play for Brentford when I was younger.
Jeez, Brentford boy.
Yeah, Brentford, West London.
Jeez.
Yeah.
What's the postcode?
W7.
Jesus.
Yeah. Well, it could be anywhere, but W7 was my postcode. Yeah, man. And I really got into it. And then when I moved up to Hertfordshire, everyone was just doing it for like fun, just lols. And I was like, what are you guys doing? Like, do you want a future in this or not? And then like my dad started to say to me, you know what, you got to start thinking about plan B. And when you're a kid and you hear that, it's like, but I don't want that.
Were you motivated to go literally, you were going to like big league?
I wanted to go big league. But
my neighbour's I can't remember. There's a pair of them, brothers. One of them had an injury. He was in my year at school. And then, but I'm pretty sure his younger brother, he went off, I can't remember if he went to America for like a scholarship, but I'm pretty sure he joined a team out there, which is like always, that feels like it's the thing you're supposed to do from what I hear from most footballers. But the older brother now plays for the local, but I think he's transferred and I don't know. I don't.
Yeah, the scholarship route is good because it's not just for football. Like one of my cousins does American football.
Yeah.
Scholarship. Literally, it'll put you on, it'll get you in the right places. People are always watching you. Like there'll be someone, it just takes that opportunity to get seen. But that's like anything, like whether you're doing whatever industry you are in, clothing, sports, you know, whatever. All you need to be is just noticed by the right person. Or sometimes you don't even need to be noticed. You just need to be busy.
Yeah. I feel like persistence and it's a who you know thing for a lot of stuff in this day and age.
No, exactly, man. Yeah, but I've been busy, man. Like, just gone self-employed.
How? Yeah. So when did that start at the same time you bought the van, or were you already self-employed before that?
No, so I had to buy the van because I was self-employed.
Yeah.
So I used to work for a local company, and then eventually I was like, nah, this ain't going nowhere. Like, so I made the move. My boy from college hit me up. I used to study with him. He's actually a few years younger than me. He started his own business, and he was like, yo, you looking for any work? Do you want to work for me? I was like, oh, I don't know, I'm kind of comfortable. And he was like, that's your problem. Like, yeah, literally.
The worst thing. I hate it. Anyone says that.
Literally. But I knew where he was coming from. And then I just kind of deeped the situation I was in. I was like, you know what? He's right. And I rang him back like 2 weeks later, and he was like, yo, what's going on, bro? I was like, is that opportunity still there? He was like, no, unfortunately not, bro. Like, I've just taken someone on, blah, blah, blah. I was gutted. I was like, what am I doing with my life? And then he ran me back like a week later. He was like, do you want it? I was like, yeah. So I started using my car for a few weeks. I sold the car. Well, I got a van and then I sold my car. And yeah, you know, little 2 litre gets me from A to B.
Yeah. So is it like what, subcontracting electrical
Sort
work,
of, yeah, like just a sole trader sort of type thing.
Yeah.
Just go do a lot of new builds, projects, you know, in and out of people's homes. Just, yeah, get the job done, out, pay me my money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Another day, another dollar.
Do you pump that all into Scurv or?
I do, but eventually, like I do, because obviously when it's an independent run company and it's just 2 of you, obviously you've got to use not a lot of your money, but you've got to be sensible of how you, not market things, but how you manage your funds and what you put them into. Because ideally, like with anything, when you buy something or get a product, you're going to want to make that back.
Yeah.
So you've got to be sensible what you do if you're...
You got a big old spreadsheet somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere. I'm starting to write a lot more things in my calendar now as well. Yeah. That's one thing you do to stay productive stay
on top of things.
Organized.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you have a lot of things on your hand, or this week might be out of hand, just write it down on your... I do it on my phone. Literally write your notes down. If you got something on this day, because I have a bad habit, of someone will say, oh, do you want to do something this day? I'm like, yeah, bro. And then I realize I've crossed them over.
Yeah.
And then someone gets let down.
Triple book, you know. Yeah, I've had that. You like put like 3 people down.
Yeah. And then they're like, are you pagan? And you're like, sorry, bro.
Sometimes it's how it be. If you're too busy, you're too busy.
It is. I'm very busy with myself recently. Like, I don't do a lot of like 7-day weeks, but your mind's always ticking over.
That's the problem, man. If you start working for yourself, you are working a lot.
If you're doing, say you work an 8 to 12 hour day, right? And then you come home, you've got to have that energy to do something on top of that. Like, one thing I was reading, I used to go for a lot of motivational posts on Instagram and stuff, right? So like I read something about, it's about what you do in your downtime, something along that line, right?
Yeah.
When people get home, they want to put their feet up, they want to put the TV on, play games, whatever, watch YouTube, all these distractions, right? But it's not getting you anywhere. You have to have a bit of entertainment, but you also have to put in the graph and you have to have a healthy balance. Yeah. But it's also like with our generation, you see people doing things, but it's like you need that extra push, like kick up the arse, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely not been in this situation myself where you get comfortable, and like your mate said, like he called you out on it, and I've got mates who they fall into the trap of job they don't like. They get home, bun a zoot, watch TV, go to bed, next morning, job again. Mm. He's in the group chat every morning being like, I want to die. I hate it here. Mm. But he's got no drive to push himself out of that.
No. And it's very rare that you'll get a handout, like a helping hand. Like, you've really got to want this stuff. When I say that, you've got to be thinking about it 24 hours. If you're not thinking about something 24 hours of the day, I don't think you want it enough. Like,
oh yeah, if you can change your whole mindset over something you want, you know? Mm.
Of course, but yeah, like you said, you just someone needs to kick up the arse, or it might take someone that they know locally, they see them doing bits, and they're like, okay, if he can do it, I can do it. But a lot of people are like, they're seeing people do things, they're seeing the end result, and they're like, I want to be there. It's like, bro, put in the work. Like,
that's the thing. Well, that's like the crazy thing with meeting you lot, and like, you know, Lewis, you, Luke, even like, because I first met Albert when I heard about the 2 eyes thing, and I know that's kind of like, I don't know what that's saying these days, but back then for a minute I was like, yo, this kid's on it. And I come to the park and he's not even the only one. There's you got Blonde, you got Scurv, you've got
Suki,
Wisteria, Suki,
all these places.
And like I know Matt, and like he's now on to, you know, he's DJing, he's got his thing going, and like he's got it, he's jumped on it. I mean, he even lives in Hitchin now, doesn't he?
Yeah, he moved from Biggleswade, so he's more local to...
Good play. Fucking expensive though. Everyone goes to Biggleswade because it's cheap as shit, but it is because it's fucking dead. Yeah,
there's nothing there. Like, you go to the town centre, I might find a kebab shop, you know, something like that, but it's dead out. But the 2 eyes thing, how that started was, so Albert's like, how old is he now? Like I want to say 15, 16.
He's the same age as Noah.
Okay, so
I
16,
think.
perhaps.
That's my guess.
His dad used to own, he might correct me, but his dad used to own a bar in New York, or might have been America.
That's big.
Something like that. And it was called Two Eyes, exact same brand, marketing, everything. And I think he sort of might have knocked it on the head or something, but he still had the company. And basically Albert just turned it into a clothing brand, and he must have started that when he was like 14. I remember he came down the park, right, and he had some stickers, and he was like, oh, do you want some stickers? And he was doing them like £1 each, like getting his hustle on.
Nice.
I was thinking, hats off to this guy. And in a way, when I was starting up Scurv, that was the only brand around. So I was thinking, if a guy that's like 10 years younger than me is doing stuff, like, I need to get my game up.
Yeah. For sure, man.
It just takes a bit of realization. Well, yeah, like I said, you can be inspired by someone else to get your game up, basically.
I mean, it's hella accessible now.
Yeah.
Back when I tried to start Bombers Brand when I was a little youngster, one, I didn't really know where to look, but it wasn't readily available. You know, I couldn't just, and I mean, I didn't even have an income at that age. So I couldn't be like, right, let's put a rack into an order. Like, I couldn't do that. I couldn't even put 20 quid into an order.
Yeah.
So
birthday money.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. But like back then it was like birthday money disappears off into the savings account, you know what I mean?
That's good. I was like that when I was a kid. Every birthday or Christmas, grandparents, aunties sending you money and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You're like gassed. And I was very good with my money. I used to save that, all that stuff. But now I just get like socks. Like, what do you get for your birthdays?
Fucking socks, money, and I normally ask for like, so last Christmas it was this. It was these mics.
Nice.
Because I was like, I try and make a principle where if I do want a gift, it's got to be something that can like elevate, you know, something that can get me doing something.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's the way forward, man.
Like if I didn't buy a drone, probably would have been drone. Year before it was a camera. Year before that, I think it was a camera again. Laptop, you know, just stuff like that. I can't. When I graduated sixth form, well, I say graduated, when I fucking dropped out of sixth form, because I thought I was going to graduate, I was going to ask for like a watch, you know, but now like my mindset is like, I need a fucking watch. Like my phone tells the time.
Exactly. Know? Like literally all you have to do is get your phone out, boom, time. Like I don't wear a watch nowadays because like I believe like time's just going to get away with you. Like I don't want to run by time unless I got to be somewhere for a certain time. That's the only time I look at a time. Like, bro, I'm not worried.
Yeah,
literally,
you live by time if it's on your wrist the whole time. Because I used to have like one of the Casio calculator watches.
Oh yeah,
school.
I had that too.
You fucking live with it, man.
Literally, like, £10.
Yeah,
work.
I put a leather strap on mine as well.
Ooh,
proper bouge.
Let me upgrade.
In it, man. Come and turn up at sixth form college with my tweed jacket and.
Bro, you were
skinny
styling.
Corduroys. You
were styling from young, like just your clothing collection. You've got quite a variety of stuff.
Well, this is my vice, man. Like I think, I mean, I say in the last 2 or 3 years, I've really started to knuckle down on finances. Like the biggest thing has been diversification for me. But like, if you want to talk, what's the fancy word? I'm trying to think of the fancy word for it. Like net worth or what is it like when like a rich person has like a yacht, but like the value of the yacht is what they have in what? Do you know what I mean?
Oh, it's not. So like the fundamentals of it. So it's like what they have in materialistic stuff or property.
Yeah, but there's like a term for it, isn't it? And it's literally right on the tip of my tongue and I can't remember it.
Yeah.
But anyways, like when my mates were going out drinking, like I used to hang out with friends who would spend £80 at Weatherspoons, no question, and not see an issue, you know. Or you even got like your mates down the park, like fucking. I'm seeing people who are working like the bottom end job, like minimum wage, but every day tens, buying the zoo, tens. I'm like, nah, like. I save up. I remember I used to work at a pet shop. I was earning like £90 a week. I'd save up for like 3 months, buy like a £300 hoodie,
Really?
literally off the rip. But it was calculated. Like I'd never buy like. I always, when someone asks me, like someone's like, "What's your most expensive piece of clothing?" My response is always going to be, "Well, do you mean retail? Do you mean aftermarket price, or do you mean how much I paid?" Because like I'm not paying retail. I'm not paying market price. I'm getting it cheap.
Yeah.
You know,
You'd be silly to. Like, I'm in the same boat as you, like, because I'm quite into clothes. Well, I used to buy things like as individual items, and I'll come back to my wardrobe and notice it doesn't go with anything. And then it's only since I started like hanging out at the park with people, I started to get my like sense of style together now. And I just buy cheap stuff now. Literally t-shirts, £20, jeans, £20 or around that. And then, bro,
that's me now. Like, you know, H-Town rags,
yeah,
Jolly Brown.
Yeah.
Like, I go in there, buy like an outfit, £10 t-shirt, £20 pair of Carhartt. That's solid. But I'm like,
yeah,
you know, like I've got racks in that fucking wardrobe right there.
I'm telling you.
Like I don't even want to tell you what's in that's in that box down there, but that's a deposit on a house down there. Yeah, I've got to keep it safe. But like, decent. I mean, I still see it as a vice though, because I've been brought up to think it's a vice. My mum used to be like, another jacket, another jacket, is it? And it's just like, but now I've like over lockdown, I've been selling off the stuff I don't wear straight into investment stocks, crypto, stuff like that, man.
Yeah, literally. Like when I used to, you know, when you first leave school, sort of get a job, 17, 18, well, depending when you start. I didn't get my first job till I was like late 17, but I was like sitting on my ass, going college, all that stuff.
Yeah, I volunteered for 6 months at the pet shop before they actually started paying me.
Oh, really? Sometimes you got to do that, man, just to make it work. Like I used to splash out.
Had to show them.
Yeah, of course. Like if you show you're serious, people will take you on, and then there's potential to grow. But when I used to get paid, you get trigger happy. You're so excited. You're like, oh, £100.
I'll start saving next month.
Yeah. And then it gets to the 6 months later and you're like, yeah, okay, where am I going? But I used to go shops, buy expensive stuff like designer stuff. You know, you see your rappers, your footballers, all these people wearing clothes. And I thought, I want to be like that.
Do you ever get on like Supreme?
Nah,
Have you ever on that Thursday morning?
I haven't. I've never bought an item of Supreme.
No way. You've got Palace though, don't you? I've seen you in Palace, I swear.
Nah.
Really?
Bro. Seriously, bro. Them two brands I respect. Have I seen in
oh no, Luke's got some Palace, I think.
Probably. I respect those brands. Like Palace is great for the scene.
Historical, innit?
Yeah. And Supreme is brilliant too. But I think when the hypebeast took over the scene, it was just like hyping it up and then the prices go up and you're like,
oh, it was wild, man.
Yeah. You're just like, I just want a tee. Like, what's going on?
Innit?
But they're pretty dope with the accessories. They've got the little bouncy ball. They've got locks, all that kind of stuff.
Crazy stuff.
But I used to spend loads of money, and then eventually something clicked. I think I was saving up for a car or something. I was like, wow, I can put my money towards something productive. And even if you want to get rid of that, you can get some good cash back. Even when you do clothes, you can get good resale on it, depending on the condition you keep it in. But I'm just not about that anymore, bro. Like,
that's me. Like, I've really got back into it over lockdown, you know, having fuck all to do. I was just like buy 3, keep 1, sell 2 was kind of like my motivation with stuff.
Yeah, man.
But like when I was at the pet shop, I was only working weekends. They could only afford to pay me as a weekend staff. So Thursday mornings, Supreme drop, buy whatever I can before it even come. Like I'd screenshot the confirmation, stick it on eBay for double the price. You know,
bro, you can make a flip. Everyone's got a hustle, no matter what it is.
Well, back then, like reseller wasn't a thing back then. And
no,
like that was when people were still like, well, I say that we've had a Jordan's resurgence now, but back then it was like, you know, like the 6s, the 11s. Yeah. People were on to like, that's what people were lining up for.
That's one pair of shoe I wanted to get, the Jordan 11s, right? I saw them and they look so like futuristic or like just iconic, and I've wanted a pair of them since I was like 18 maybe, and I still haven't got one to these days. The Jordan 1 just got ahead of me.
Yeah, I don't think I mean personally I don't know if I'll ever deviate from the 1s, maybe 4s.
4s are cute. Yeah,
right,
they look cute on you.
Thanks. I hope so. My cousin's got a pair. I tried them on. Not Barney, his brother.
Oh yeah.
He's come down to skate a couple of times, but yeah, he got the red 4s, the white with the red bits. I can't remember what they're called.
Did he go away with you to on your trip?
Yeah, we all did. A big old family, massive.
So where was that?
Lake District, bro. I actually talked about it last episode. But yeah, it's like a family thing. We go every year. So like the older family, my grandparents and stuff like that, because my grandparents arrange it. It all stemmed from because I used to go as a kid. Like I got childhood videos. Like that's my thing. Like you know, the outdoors and that. And as a kid, we used to go to this barn, and I have like vivid memories of like waking up in a triple bunk with my cousins. And like we'd go down and we'd have porridge in this barn, and like some woman would be serving us porridge, and we'd be playing ping pong or something, get taken out for a walk. And this was when I was like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And then like the Lake District love died out, you know, people got on with their lives. We grow up, we went to school, shit like that. And then a couple of years later, me and just like my close family, like my parents started going again. Yeah. And then my grandparents were like, we found a place. We were going to go just us two, but it's a 3-bedroom. There's 6 beds.
Not bad.
And so me and my cousin hopped on it, me and Barney. And I think it was like 2 or 3 years we went just us lot. My great grandpa used to come as well. But after he passed, we went as a whole family. And the young kids, so we get like this now. We're in this, like, it's called Thorny Crag, which is like this like shed barn further into the mountains already. Like the farmhouse is like isolated. It's a 20-minute drive from like our main gate to the house. So,
in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, like own valley, completely like
That's
only
beautiful.
You can only see other houses when it's night, and you can see their lights through the trees like in the distance, and that's it. Yeah. But then from there, it's another track up. We're in this like little fucking shed, but it's sick. It is nice.
It's a nice place. I've been there once with a group. I think there was a group of 5 of us, so it's about 2 girls, 3 boys.
Was this recently?
No. Well, when you say recent, it was like
as in over
lockdown.
COVID, since COVID.
I think it was like when you were getting the regular announcements of what you can and couldn't do. Yeah. And we sort of timed it right, because as soon as we got back, it went into another lockdown. And we only stayed, how long did we stay? Like 3-4 nights. We just got an Airbnb. Yeah. It's like a nice room, had like games room, bedrooms, entertainment, all that stuff. Went there and it was just speechless. Like everyone was walking around. So the classic uniform was hiking stuff.
Oh, love it, innit?
Everyone was in some hiking shoes. I felt out of place. I went there in Chelsea boots, and I hiked in Chelsea boots. They were grippy. Yeah. Won't do that again.
Look, I think when you came back, because I remember you grabbed me at the park once, and you were like, yeah, like what? Like you wear like hiking shoes and that, don't you? I remember you saying.
I was oblivious to what I was in for, but I'll definitely go again. And the thing is, it rained a lot of the time, but that didn't take away.
Adds to it sometimes.
Yeah, I was getting wet and I was loving every minute. Well, pause. Whoa, chill, bro.
Whoa,
bro. But yeah, literally.
This is PG, this podcast, bro.
Yeah, sorry, bro. Like literally, the experience is amazing. We hiked, like, and some of the stuff, they're obstacles, man. You have to like hop over stuff.
Oh, mate, it gets like scrambling's a real thing, mate. You will be on. Like me and Barney, we were always into like the proper like hands-on stuff. Like, I like a little bit of a stroll, but like I'd rather go straight up. You know what I mean? Straight
to the top, man. That's what I'm trying to be. Nothing less. It's a result. I remember we got to the top of one of the you want to call them hills, mountains,
peaks.
You know? Got to the top of the peak, and my friend, well, you know Kramer.
Yeah.
He had a 4-pack of Cherry B.
Nice.
And we just finished that. Easy. Little reward. But no, it's nice. I do want to go back there again.
Mate, definitely. Well, you know me, man. I'm going to be always down for a trip.
What were those hiking trainers you showed me? Because they're not shoes, they're like trainers.
The Salomons.
Yeah.
Yeah, mate.
I've been looking at them.
I need to get a new... I'm literally... Funny enough, I'm thinking of getting a pair for uni, which makes no sense, but... Because, you know, city streets and that. But, like, I need something that's, like...
Durable.
Yeah.
Light. Comfortable.
You know, on feet all day.
And they're not that expensive.
Nah, unless you go for the fancy stuff. But even then, like, nothing compared to, like, aftermarket Jordans or something like that, you know?
Yeah, bro. Each to their own. They got a nice shape. I don't see an awful lot of them, but
Yeah, man. Like, I've been kind of really on top of this wave at the moment. Of a lot of people getting into it. It's mostly up north, like Manchester.
Yeah.
Liverpool and Leeds seem to be kind of pioneering this wave of like your local Donnies wearing hiking equipment. Everyone looks like fucking geography teachers now.
dad problems.
In it, exactly. It's like, it's kind of like hilarious, like, especially because a lot of people, like, I've got a close knit group of people who are like, wear it because it looks good, but also they do go hiking and stuff. But you do have your mate next door who has like a £600 waterproof jacket, and he just wears it to fucking Creamfields or something.
Yeah, it's
gets
just
a tear in it or something like that.
It's just a poser.
I mean, I will never, poses in like the hiking scene. Having poses is just hilarious to me. But I guess so, in a way. I mean, I got accused of being a poser once. I was wearing my Arcturus jacket on the tube in London.
Yeah,
and some dude was wearing the exact same one, like old dude.
Yeah,
he was like military or something. And I was like, just like riding a high because I was with some mates just having a fun time. So I was just like, yo, we have the same jacket. And then he just made a remark. He's like, oh yeah, at least I probably use mine.
Oh man.
And I was like, right, do you want me to get my fucking Instagram up now? I'll show you what I do in this fucking jacket.
He was having a bad day.
Don't in it, mate.
You know what? You say you want a tube, right?
Yeah.
When you go into London, you get that. Everyone's just, they don't want to know. That's what one thing I noticed when I moved up here. Yeah, everything's just so different. There's fields, greenery, go for walks, fresh air. Like everyone's just doing out like suburban stuff.
Yeah.
I'm a suburban dude. And basically I noticed that straight away. But like when you go to London, there's a lot of people, no problem with a lot of people, but everyone's just so sort of segregated in a way.
Don't care. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's just like, it's almost, like there's almost a philosophy to it. Like one of the huge reasons I like hiking, the more remote you get, the more people are drawn to each other. Like when you're in the city, because there's people everywhere, you don't give a fuck. Like they just become accessories to the scenery.
It is, yeah. It's like, who are you? What are you doing? Like every time I go out of town, like you see people doing stuff, and you're like, do people not have work?
Yeah. And it's like, even like here, like if you go for a walk and you bump into someone walking the dog, you would just like half the time you just, wouldn't look at each other. You just walk straight past. Do that up in Yorkshire Dales. You say hello to someone, you might end up having a 20-minute conversation on the side of a fucking mountain because, like people are scarce up there,
Yeah, like people will actually talk to you and all that stuff. If you're not used to that kind of, what do you call it, reception, how people receive you, then it might seem a bit strange. You're like, oh, this person's like extremely nice. Like, are they going to kill me? Like,
yeah. Well, there's like really warm people, like even... I remember my first time in Wales, it was just like this guy just spent like a good 15 minutes trying to convince me to go to a specific place to eat, and I'm like, no one else would care, but this guy, I was like, I just walked past, he was like, we guys, he's like, I'm not even gonna do a Welsh accent, but I could barely understand him. He was like proper thick. Like this is like southern Snowdonia, that kind of area.
I'm going to Wales in a few weeks.
Nice.
Yeah, that's Snowdonia, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to Snowdonia, but I can't remember the place called, but it's like my auntie's surprise 60th birthday party. And we ordered out like a big house, what do you call it? Like not a villa, but sort of type thing.
Yeah, like an estate almost.
Yeah, and we're only there for like 2 nights or something. But I'm looking forward to it because the last time I went to Wales is when I was young, school trips and other bits. But to go there out of your own time, it's like, I can imagine it like sort of reminding me of the lakes a little bit or something. Yeah,
like there are definitely differences. So like I was saying with this guy, like they are locals. It's like a very locals only thing. Even in the Lake District, it's kind of like, oh, tourism, like come in, like we'll all talk to you. Like it's funny, like actually in Cumbria, I don't hear the Cumbrian accent, barely.
Yeah.
Most people local are like Southerners who've moved up and retired, or they're like, maybe the odd Manny accent comes up, but
that's the thing. There's too many accents here.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
If someone comes from abroad and they're like just learning the language, if they hear like a Scouser, what are they doing?
Scouse? Yeah.
Like, what are they gonna do, bro?
Well, it's like even I think there's accents for me. Like I think heavy Glaswegian, I literally would probably, I'd be like, what?
You'd be like, huh?
What?
How many times?
But it's like I can hear your accent for sure.
Sort of, yeah.
You got a bit of like a London twang comes through with certain.
A little bit. It was the environment I was raised in because everyone's not well spoken, but you just grow up as kids and that's what you know. You talk how people around you talk. And basically, when I came up here, it wasn't much different, but like people pronounce their T's.
Yeah,
and all
like
that stuff.
We kind of had this strange. I feel like it's almost like a muddy middle ground where we're kind of, you get a bit of that like Norfolk, Suffolk. We don't get Essex. We're definitely no. I don't know why we don't, because Essex is right there.
Yes, close.
But we're definitely more like Bedfordshire, Buckinghamshire.
Yeah.
And,
all of those places. Like
counties and that.
When I came up here, it all seemed like very well spoken.
How old were you when you came up?
10. And like, it's different for me. I was like, got to make new homies.
Did it feel like, did it feel culturally different? Because
yeah, it did, because I'm so used to loads of people being around. You come out here, it's like you're trying to, like, you go into town or whatever, there's a lot of like, you get a lot of older people, you get families.
Oh, man. Yeah.
You know, when they're like walking in front of you and you're trying to walk around them and they're walking like 2 miles an hour and you're just like, can you get out of the way, please?
I think the main thing I noticed here, one, the age demographic, and a lot of white people.
Yeah, I did notice that.
Hella. Like
in London, you got, what have you got? You got a lot of like the Asian people, so both Chinese, and then you got Indians. I wasn't too far from Southall, so you got a lot of Indians there. Then where I live, Hanwell, you might have some Somalis.
Yeah.
Just loads of Arabic, different
Caribbean
types of
stuff like that.
Yeah, Caribbean, African, all that kind of stuff. You move up here, it's changed. Now there's a lot more people moving, only because people
it's diversifying slowly, which is good.
But that's because people are moving out of London and they're coming up here, whether they got work or they're traveling on the tube. I do notice a lot more cultures integrating into our area. Yeah. But it's never been a thing for me. No, I just get along with everyone.
But yeah, I mean, I always just notice how fucking I feel when I go into like even just as simple as like Luton.
Yeah.
And because Luton's got a huge like Middle Eastern community there.
Yeah.
And first time I went to Brum, same deal. Birmingham, they've got like And I remember being like, you notice it and it's like, God, where I'm from, like my best friend through school, Tiana, she was the only Jamaican, like, or at least I think she was one of the only people of color, like
in your class,
in my year.
Primary?
No, this was secondary.
Oh, secondary.
Like, wow. It wasn't very diversified at all, but
what area was that?
It's just here, down here.
Oh, literally, like, I wouldn't be surprised because even when I went to high school, in the whole year, there's probably about 5 of us.
Yeah.
Like, when I say us, I mean like, I'm
minorities.
I'm Afro-Caribbean. Well, class is Afro-Caribbean. My mum's Jamaican, but she's born over here. Yeah. And then my dad's Jamaican, but he was born over there, and he moved at a young age with his mum. And just Jamaican really, but do get a lot of Jamaicans around here, like whether it be the food, the stores. You got a lot of food shop and market stalls. Some people do cater for. I think
we actually have a like a Jamaican like tropical style chicken place somewhere around here. I might be wrong.
There's one at the Industrial I used to go to in Hitchin.
That's maybe the one I'm thinking of.
And then there used to be one in the town called Dutchy Pot.
What is like I went to Harpenden, which is funny because Harpenden feels like as white people haven. That is like, it's just old white dudes. I went to Classics on the Green. It's just old white dudes showing off their cars.
How far is it?
It's just the other side of Luton.
Really?
Yeah,
I've heard of it, yeah.
It's kind of paying. I would love to live there. There's a house on on Modern House that's there. That's like very 70s, and I keep looking at it. I'm like, oh, I could live in Harpenden. That's quite nice. But they had like this great street food vendor set up, but it was dead because all these white people like, they don't want to try any of this. No, it turned out I was supposed to this Jamaican fella, and literally like I can't remember what I had this crazy it was like pulled I don't know if it was pulled pork. I don't feel like it was that, but it was like stringy, like I'm pretty sure it's chicken.
We eat like quite a lot of things, but if it's pulled, it could be, I don't know, it might have just been really tender. Maybe, but we eat oxtail.
Nice.
You tried that?
Nah, that was there, and I was like, it's too far. Like I was like,
yeah, that is the most.
I'll play it safe today.
Tender meat, like when it's cooked nice, it just falls apart. Like you eat off the bone.
Can you get that around here?
Oh yeah, all the butchers, because a lot of the UK chefs have started to use it a lot more now, and it sort of bumped up the price a little bit.
Obviously, mate, gentrification's real, bro.
Yeah, but we're so used to that. Like my dad, I had my granddad around the other day.
You guys really kind of connect with your culture still then?
Yeah, and he stayed over and he was talking about all the stuff he used to try when he was younger. And even my grandma was looking at him. She's Jamaican born. She was like, I never had that.
Yeah.
like you can try so many different things. But if you come up from a poor background, which a lot of people do, you just have what's there. You know what I mean? And then obviously now, shop's only 5 minutes away. All you have to do is go down the road, get a burger, blah, blah, blah.
Well, there's been like my mum tagged me and there's a new, because I just love like international food shops opening up. It's like my favorite thing. Because we don't have anything in Bulldog International, really.
Of course you don't.
It sucks. Closest thing there is one in Letchworth Industrial. There's a Thai place, which is really good if you need Thai bits. But I had Thai for the first time a couple of weeks ago.
How was it?
That was good. I mean, I kind of cheated. I got black bean because I knew black bean from like Japanese and Japanese food. So I just got black bean with sticky rice or something like that, and it was really good.
You played it safe.
Yeah.
Sticky rice is nice though.
Yeah, it was mad. It's sticky.
I would hope so.
Yeah. But nah, like I really I'm really been more into food recently, like getting into trying different types. I remember over lockdown, like fucking when Chicken George opened. Man. That place.
There's still like a queue every week.
Every fucking day, bro.
The amount of time I drive past that and there's a queue, I'm thinking, how good is this place? And I still haven't tried it. Like, you've been, yeah?
Yeah, bro. Religiously. Mate.
What's the prices saying?
Decent, but I think they've already gone up a little bit.
Of course, because they're getting that booming business.
Yeah. I remember when I first started eating there, it was £7.50 for what you call like it's just like a meal combo, and you get one like quarter chicken, like fried quarter chicken, which is like simple. But then you get 6 wings of your choice, and they have different wing types. The one I got recommended off the rip was called You've Been Mangoed, which is like this mango dip wing. Nice, so fucking good.
Can you sit in?
Yeah. But I like I mean, if you want to, dine and dash, get in, go head somewhere else. Sitting in can be a bit of a trek because like it does fill up. Yeah,
I mean, it's kind of like a glorified chicken shop.
I mean, it is literally that is all it is. Because I know there's one in Luton that's quite big. Yeah. But I mean, mate, you say the word. We'll if we're at a skate park and we're like, I'm feeling some chicken, we'll go pick some up.
If you've got to spare half an hour to queue.
I mean, we'll time it. I'm pretty good with the timings these days.
That's good.
Last time I went, it was dead.
But yeah, you got to catch it at the right time, man. Literally.
But like even that, like, I mean, that's not a great example of me saying trying different foods. It's just a fucking chicken shop. But like, I'd never tried like chicken shop chicken as it is. Like, I hate KFC, and I was like, because it's dead, fast food. I was like, I want to try it from someone who's like done it right. Yeah, and it was fucking like so like buffalo chicken for the first time. Ooh. That was pretty mad. Like with the blue cheese and stuff like that.
Oh, what?
Mate, what do you mean?
That just ruins it, bro. Like, literally, blue cheese, yeah. Like my dad likes that, but that is not for me, bro. Like you see all them blue stuff in it.
It saved it for me, to be fair. Nah, but you don't see the blue stuff with the blue cheese sauce.
Oh, the sauce.
Yeah,
got you.
Okay.
They
melt it down.
But you smell it though.
Yeah, it does smell a bit like sick.
Yeah, like, a bit of vomit.
You gotta be real hungry to be like, yeah.
Like talking of buffalo, like when I went to New York, went to some place because I don't eat pork. Made that decision time ago.
Any reason?
I don't know. Like I was doing a lot of. It's like when the vegan scene sort of started to get amped up.
Well, I'm pretty anti-red meat myself.
Okay, yeah, that's good for you. Actually, have a detox on that. You don't have it at all.
I haven't had red meat for. I mean, I say that I do have corn. I do have mince accidentally sometimes, but I try and have corn mince as much as I can.
Accidentally.
You know, it just comes through.
Yeah, literally.
Lasagna, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, can't. Do you like mushrooms in your lasagna?
Nah.
Grow up.
Bruv, I didn't even know you can put. Is that a thing?
Mushrooms? Of course. I used to pick them out when I was a kid, but I'm not a kid anymore.
Mate, I like mushrooms. I just never put them in a lasagna.
Yeah.
I'll try it.
Yeah, your taste buds changed. Olives.
Well, I was looking the other day, like people. Is it what? There is a mushroom that people are frying, and it like you can make like chicken wings, but vegan chicken wings with mushroom. I can't remember. What
I've seen that. Yeah, mushroom is well known. They pull it apart.
Yeah.
And I've seen a guy make a steak with it. It was on TV one time.
Yeah.
I don't watch an awful lot of TV, but literally he made it, and even when he cut it, it did look really nice. It's an alternative. But when the vegan scene got really sort of big, started doing documentaries on why you shouldn't have this, why you shouldn't have that, or too much of this is bad. And I watched a documentary called What the Health?
Yeah.
Watched that, and I was like, to be honest, it's not even the way the livestock is treated, it's just more of the surroundings they're in and all these kind of things.
It's messed up. No, it's what's the Cowspiracy? Is that the one that's the one that really like shook me up. Like I don't drink milk anymore.
Bro, I didn't have milk in, well, if that makes sense. I didn't, like up to 3 weeks ago, I hadn't had milk in like 3-4 years, apart from a tea. Like I wouldn't even count that, but that's just little portions. But the reason behind that is because I was like, yeah, it's coming from that. It's for calves. Like
it's not. Yeah, I mean, have you had fucking oat milk?
Yeah. Yeah, oat milk. My family's gone through quite a lot of different milks. My dad has, because he's lacto, he has some different milk. My sister has some nice milks because she's vegan and her other half is vegan. But yeah, I didn't have it. And as soon as I got ill, I was like, with COVID, I was like craving milk. I was like, I was craving cereal. I thought, I'm not really going to have oat milk. It might not be the same. Some are good quality. And I just had straight up milk, and now my whole household is having like cereal. Like they never used to dabble in it. It's just a treat, innit? Today I brought some Oreo cereal, and then I brought some Craze. Do you know Craze with the chocolate?
Yeah.
Crave, that's it, with the chocolate inside.
That's like the last of like the dying, because I'm trying to, my only cereal I have now is either Weetabix or porridge.
Oh, we can go back, like literally Nesquik.
Yeah.
Used to have those with the rabbit.
Chocolate shreddies.
Chocolate shreddies, they were nice. My
Frosted shreddies, do you ever have them?
Yeah, my parents wouldn't get shreddies that much though, like especially not the chocolate ones.
I'd always chocolate shreddies microwave for 25 seconds. They just start getting soft.
With the milk.
Yeah.
You have warm milk.
Got to warm the milk up a bit.
Wow.
Mate, this was the good old days. I was like, it was like a mush by the time I was eating it.
Like the only one that I'll mush up is Weetabix, because they come in like big bricks, don't they? Like round bricks.
Weetabix, solid, mate. I've got a whole Facebook group behind Weetabix.
No way.
Yeah, like 500 members as well.
What?
Started it, Weetabix group. God, every now and then, like it's so inactive now, but every now and then, like some like 40-year-old woman will come in and start posting about how she bought Weetabix and it had like a mosquito in it or something.
Bro.
She's like, I'm never buying Weetabix again. And it's like, we're all like just, it's almost, I mean, I feel a bit bad. It's a bit cruel, but we all just carry it on. We're like, oh, Linda, that is disgusting. My friend works for Weetabix and I'll tell him to say something to Mr. Weetabix himself, you know.
Way. Oh my gosh, I can't believe people do that. Unless she's playing you guys. She might be a step ahead of you. She'd be like, these guys are like...
For real. Or she could be in on the bit, you know. It's all...
You never know.
Life is a bit, you know.
Yeah.
But
I mean, you're into what you're into. Can't judge.
Nah,
you know.
Porridge is the one at the moment, I think.
What, you get those little... I used to have Ready Break when I was young.
Yeah, Ready Break's good, but like if you can get straight on like the Quaker Oats, old school.
Yeah. What, the instant packet things?
Nah, not even the instant packets.
Tubs.
Raw oats, bro.
Oh, yeah,
You get them in, bit of oat milk on top of that. So you got double oat.
Yeah.
Little drizzle of golden syrup.
Oh yeah, it has to be done, man.
Like just to get that, you know.
Yeah, the finesse.
And then like sometimes like if you're feeling fancy, get the blueberries or something. You can get on the fruit hype if you want to.
One of your 5 a day.
You know, I'm like, I feel like the bowl to the brim, and it's like, mate, you're just burnt. Like that's just energy, bro.
It's slow releasing, so that will last you up until maybe a lunchtime if you eat early.
Well, when I was at the pet shop, I would have porridge when I woke up, have porridge for lunch as well. I wouldn't have a proper meal till I got home from work at like 6:30, and then I'd eat like.
It is a proper meal though, but yeah, I eat a lot of shit.
It is plain as fuck, Joe.
Yeah, I got a sweet tooth. We were talking about this earlier.
Yeah, man, serious. That's my straight edge, but the sugar is bad. Like
very bad, but it gives you energy. Like my house is full up of snacks.
But have you had a sugar crash, bro? It's like worst.
No.
When you have like too much sugar, but you haven't eaten anything else, and then you just crash.
Yeah.
That's the reason I kind of have to have porridge, because I need something to keep me burning. Because if I have like fucking like sink like
some chockies,
you know, chocky biscuits, or like even worse, like I'm the kind of guy, you know, like Jaffa cakes. Do you like Jaffa cakes?
Yeah.
Can you ever have one? No, you have the whole bag.
Bro, from when that packet's open, it's getting finessed.
In it, like 10 minutes, if that.
Like
sink. I might as well just like, you know, like in like Scooby Doo when they get the big. When he just like eats the burger in one gulp. That's me, but with Jaffa cakes.
It's just a gulp.
But like, yeah, if it hits you. But I mean, I guess I'm like really susceptible. I had like, I remember last summer, before I came skating one day, my friend ordered a coffee and forgot to say oat milk coffee.
Oh.
So he was lactose. And there was just a spare, and I'm not lactose intolerant. So I was like, well, if there's a spare coffee going, I'll sink it. First time I had coffee in years.
Yeah.
I got to the skate park. I was like, I can skate this whole fucking park.
Jeez.
I literally never felt anything like it.
You will be on an up, but then some people rely on that. It's not just coffee, tea. Have a lot of, what is it, caffeine?
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that can sort of, some people get reliant on it. Like when I was young, the smell of coffee was so nice, but when I tasted it, I was like, this is not for me. Yeah. I used to see a lot of middle-aged people drinking it. I'm like, it's not for me. And then eventually I started working and people constantly offering me coffee, drunk coffee, blah, blah. I'd done it and they used to have it quite sweet. So I was like, it's quite nice. But then after a while, it just gets to you like, bro, like I can't get reliant on this stuff.
Yeah, it is addictive because it is, I mean, caffeine is a drug, you know?
It is. Just like energy drinks as well.
Energy drinks, mate, I see him knocking them back at the skate park. I used to be that guy. Way back, I used to be like, yeah, like Monster energy drink whilst I'm on the computer.
Why not?
Mate, I used to have like one can. I got so into it that like if I didn't have more than one can a day, I'd just start shaking. Yeah. I thought I was fucked. And that's when I was like, right, fuck caffeine.
It's not.
And then everything else just naturally like.
It's not the one for you, bro. You gotta just, sometimes I just get high off life. Like when things are going your way, yeah, it's like, I should keep doing this. Like you're always going to get something that gets in your way, like a hurdle or something, like a little challenge you've got to get over. But like more times I'm just trying to stay not so, sober-minded, but I have fun now and then. Like when I go to the park, I have a little smoke.
Yeah.
The other day I had a little shroomy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was a good experience.
A bit of an explore. Was this your first time, was it? Or
no, it was the first time I had it. That experience. I've tried it like twice before, just little microdoses.
Yeah.
But this time I connected with like nature.
Yeah.
I was just having, because I just recently like got, like I used to work with someone basically, and he was like a Christian. And he kept feeding me the word every day, like just like spreading the gospel basically.
Yeah.
And eventually, like it's been a few years down the line now, today's the first time I went to church in like a while because they've just opened back up, right? And when I took the shrooms, it like connected me. I felt like I had a higher frequency of connection. Everything just seemed so peaceful. Like I even had
sense.
Yeah, it made sense. And I had a phone call with my auntie. We just connected. Like she rings now and then. And this is the first time we had a full out conversation. Like we were just hitting everything, like just Really
Did she know you're on shrooms? Are you on that level, or
like,
did you just
hi
keep
auntie,
it
like
low-key?
I'm just on shrooms. Nah, literally just
Some
get to
people
go.
have them aunties, you know.
Yeah, I know. I don't think she knew. No, she wouldn't know. And
What if like her end, all she heard was you being like, auntie, what you say? You know what I mean?
literally at first it was kind of awkward, and I got into it, and I was like, okay, this is cool. But yeah, the whole shroom experience, like, it's not something I want to dabble in all the time, because some people can just be on it all the time. But it was beautiful. I really connected with nature. I went into my garden. Everything seemed so much better.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, yeah. I would recommend, if someone's looking to go down that route, just try it once if you want to. Obviously, it's not compulsory. But if you're looking to do anything, I always do things that are natural. So if it's grown from the earth, I will take it. And there's only very few things that you can take before it starts getting out of control.
Yeah.
But no, beautiful experience. Like, literally, I just felt at peace. Like, I had no worries at all. But I would say, if you're going to do anything, if you're going to be under the influence of anything, you got to have a stable mind, because
You got to be like in it.
otherwise it can take a toll. But yeah,
That's the thing. Like I've been around friends who've been on shrooms, and certain types of friends have reacted very differently.
oh yeah,
I've always been kind of ended up being that. I mean, and then I guess it depends on how you take it, how much you take, and where as well. Like,
true.
I know, I'm in full support, especially with microdosing shrooms.
Yeah,
Like, I can't remember what it is. It's psilocybin, the
yeah,
psychedelic that's in them.
yeah. So
But like people will microdose psilocybin in the morning, and like just elevates their day.
yeah, like,
And if you can live off that, Godspeed to you, you know?
of course, like, some people constantly do the microdose, and it's not enough to make them, insane or something. Too much of one thing isn't too good. But some people microdose in small doses, and they just really like it. They get along with it. They can function. But the person that grows it, or the shrooms, he was saying, what's that word called? The thing that's in it?
Psilocybin, I think.
Psilocybin. Yeah, it's like that bluey stuff. When you touch the stem, or you touch the head of it,
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
it would just, obviously, but it just like
No,
exposes.
I'm a good boy, bro. I don't.
No, of course. Talking of shrooms, I was at my sister's house earlier, and she experiments with that too. Not all the time. She's like a weed smoker sort of type thing.
Yeah.
That goes hand in hand sometimes. And I was doing some DIY stuff for her. I was putting up some shelves, as brothers do. And she opened one of her drawers. And when you put something in a drawer and it drops down to the back, she found a packet of shrooms.
No way.
Literally there. And she was like, that's where they went. Yeah, so that was eventful. Literally.
Man, that's a nice surprise, that is.
Exactly. No, it always happens with shrooms. I've done that by myself as well. Like, when you're at home, you're like, where do I put them? And because I'm obviously with the rents and that, you don't want them clocking onto these things.
Oh yeah, I had to hold weed for a friend once who was very paranoid about having it in his house.
Yeah.
My room fucking stank of weed for like a couple of days. I have no idea why. If my parents called me out on it, I would have been like, well, I don't like.
Yeah, of course.
It's not for me. Like,
no.
That typical meme. But like my room, I don't know how they didn't clock. My room stank for like 4 days.
Yeah, it pongs. If you ain't got like a seal proof.
Well, that's the thing. Like I had because I heard film canister, like these things.
Ah, yeah, classic. That got me out of trouble loads of times.
Yeah, they're the ones. But even then, like.
Yeah, those things.
Yeah, there's a couple there. It lingered from when I popped it open, and like.
Yeah, you don't want to pop that indoors.
No.
That's gonna go into the next room, the bathroom.
And it sticks to clothing and stuff as well.
Oh yeah. Like, literally, you got to be so careful with it. Like hash is more subtle. It doesn't smell. You just crumble it up. But I've been trying to lay off this stuff. I was quite a heavy weed smoker, and then when I started having priorities, adult and that, I started to. It's because I was around people who influence you. Normally, when people have got habits around you, you're gonna pick that up. Not all the time, but if you give in quite easily, or you just, I'll just do it now, it can be quite inconvenience, because you got stuff to do. You're like, but when I smoke, I just mong out.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I think that's when the line. I think like smoking weed is one of those things where like from as me as an outsider who doesn't partake myself, it's um the type of people heavily relies on like my opinion of this of what they're smoking. So like for example, like I've grown up with like proper, and like I've had like some people who go to my school who were like, you know, you just lost them to the weed for a minute.
Yeah.
Like they just, and like you lose all drive, you can't function. That's like when I'm like, okay, I get it now. People like that's when you shouldn't be doing like.
Yeah, but you see it, you notice it better because you don't dabble in that stuff. So when you see people, you can see it in their eyes straight away.
Oh, for sure.
Like some people, they just seem absolutely battered, like dead. And you're like, what? Long day at work? No, it's just like I waked and baked and like, oh, I've just been at home.
Yeah, it's like it's even that, and like I've like noticed it with a couple guys, even at the skate park recently, like young guys who it's just like, you know, they start smoking weed and they just end up being like, even when they're not high, they're just slow, and it's just like,
yeah,
dude, like fucking pop an omega-3 or something, bro. Go for a run, bro. Like
get them vitamins in.
Innit? Like you're missing something there.
Yeah, in school I never knew about that stuff. Like there were people around me doing that. I knew cigarettes were around.
Yeah.
When I was in school, I did not know anything about weed or drugs, and that's me being honest. And then when I sort of left school, 17, that's when I had my first cigarette. And then you know what follows a cigarette? It's like, oh, let me try a bit of weed. But it's good to do it when once your brain is developed. People are still growing, and
God, it's a rocky road.
Yeah, like a lot of young guys now are going into school and they're saying, "Oh, I got weed, I'm smoking." But it's like if you're doing that from young and you're not sensible with it, you're just recipe for disaster. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, just going to go downhill from there. And you find out like a lot of people that are in that situation might not have the guidance, or they might just hang around with people who do the same thing. And it's like, well, you're just going downhill from here and your life ain't even started yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I mean, it's especially when you're like a developing age, anything you put, if you're like, your brain gets affected by if you just start drinking coffee at a young age.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think happens if you're going to be smoking, drinking, like...
You're going to be fucked.
Fucking doing heavy stuff, like all of that.
Yeah, I was a good boy, so
yeah, mate. Never touched anything ever.
No, still am a good boy.
Yeah, man. Like, and it's not even like I'm straight edge in the sense that I'm like I'll never rule it out. Like maybe one day. Like I think there's like the top 3 that I kind of want to, at least from like a psychological perspective, I do want to just like experience like the weed high, just to understand like. Because everyone is like, it's just like this warm, it's like a safety blanket almost of just like you just can feel.
Yeah, I get what you mean. If you know how when people do something for the first time, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And then you do it again and again. If it's too frequent, it will just become like a bad habit.
Yeah.
If you do it for the first time, I can't remember my first time. I was like 17 and I was with one of my old school friends. Obviously, he'd been doing it throughout school. I was new to this. I'd done it. I'm never around people that force you into stuff. It was just like, if you want to.
Yeah.
And I'd done it and made like brilliant experience. I've never really had a bad experience on that before, but obviously you can, if you get too crazy and you don't eat, you can feel lightheaded or whitey or things like that.
Yeah. So that's obviously like what I hear through a couple of friends. And even now I fucking like, a lot of friends in their like 25s and stuff, and I'm like giving people lifts home and they're like whiteying in the back of my car, and I'm like, fucking hell, people still
do that.
Still like, I mean, that's just like, you know, if you switch up from like smoking Zoots for ages and then you switch to a bong, then yeah, I get it. Like if you do it, you know.
Don't even mention a bong. I've tried that. I threw mine in a skip. Literally, it was a glass one.
Yeah.
It was just in my wardrobe for time. I took some hits, and again, like I said, people who you hang around with, it was one of these guys who would just like literally game all the time, smoke weed, stay in his house, go to work, but most of his downtime would just be smoking weed. And I tried a bong with him, not my first time, and I got into it. I was like, I'm gonna get one, and I got one, and it was sort of like a phase. I used it for like 2 weeks, and I thought, this is destroying my brain. It just goes straight to your head, and I thought, throw it. So it was in my wardrobe for a time. When we were having a house clear out, literally dashed it in a skip. I was like, bye.
Bye.
Yeah, bye, Felicia.
But you are right about like, I mean, and that's we're circling back to the drive thing again. Like, you know, like if you're in your downtime, if you're not driven to do anything, that's how you can fall into stuff like that.
No, of course. And you've got to have a strong, is it not will, but
maybe like be disciplined, you know?
That's it. Discipline.
Keep on top of things.
Yeah, exactly. That will get you places for sure.
I had like a really good stage, like my gym stage, and hopefully going to continue it soon. But
you get swole.
I've lost the discipline, like, but I mean, I wouldn't even say swole, but just enough to make like, I'm quite confident the gym pulled me out of a lot of mental shit that I was dealing with. Just the discipline of like, even like I was working like 40-hour, 50-hour weeks, like, but like finish work at 8 o'clock. I'll be in the gym at 8:30, training till 9:30. Then I'll have dinner. Then I can have my downtime before bed, go to bed, wake up next morning, repeat, you know? And you can get a lot of shit done mentally in the gym, you know?
Yeah, of course.
When you have time to yourself, stick your headphones in, you're pushing weights and you're in that mind, like that mindset.
No, of course. Like tunnel vision sort of type thing.
But legit, well, it just makes you think about the kind of the important stuff off the rip. You stop caring about weird shit, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, so that's like a big reason that I want to get back. Like, I was able to get it after lockdown. I was able to get, because that's kind of what fucked everything.
Yeah, of course.
Like once or twice a week, but like I haven't been this week. I didn't go last week, but I think like, come, you know, now it's coming down into winter, my motives, because the thing is it clashes with skating as well.
Oh yeah, because it's two forms of exercise, so you're like, can't do one and the other in the same day. Otherwise,
I want to be able to, but like early days, that's tough because you know, you're going to ache from both and you're going to feel like shit.
Well, there's two different types of aches. You got like, oh, I've been pumping too much, whether it be whatever part of your body.
Yeah.
And then you got, oh, I just fell.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's like the aching from skating is like you just getting bad up, bruised and shit. But like the aching from gym is like, you know, torn muscle fibers and.
Yeah. When you first start out, it's like you get that good pump and you feel knackered. Your body feels tired for a good week. You're like, oh, it's hurting, but it's a good hurt, like good pain. And then after a while, if you can stay at a stage where you're like doing the same thing or light weights, whatever. But if you're pushing yourself constantly and going up, depends what you want to work or what physique you want. But eventually I think you get used to it. But the timing thing, it is finding time, because you're like, okay, I'm going to be good if I don't go gym. But at the same time, I would like this result or that result. So you got to squeeze it in. Then you got to do whatever you do in the day. Then you got to find time to socialize. And we don't have to, but it's good to always be.
I mean, it's crazy to think, like, I know, this is what I think I never really got understood about going out and like, not even just clubbing, but also even just going to like the pub.
Yeah.
People celebrate too easily, man. It's like, do you know what I mean? It's like, why the fuck are you going out for a mental night clubbing? Like, what's that for? Do you know what I mean? Bro,
that's the realest shit I've heard today. Like, the celebrating thing. Like, people are going out as if they've achieved something. Like, there's no harm in having that balance between, you know, work and leisure.
But you do you at the end of the day. But for me and for you, I guess, if you're relating to that, it's like,
yeah, anti-climax thing. It's like, what are you actually doing? Like, from an outside perspective, when I see people like that, you know, you get your locals in your town, you're like, I see that guy every week. Not necessarily because you're out, but you just see that person out and about, and you're like, is that person, like, they got any goals? Like, what? Like, you're going out, you're drinking, you're smoking, whatever. Like, what priorities have you got in your life? Like, I don't want to be that person. Not at all.
If you're not driven, I guess that's like, and I watched Shang-Chi recently, the new Marvel number.
Yeah.
And it's all right. It's all right film, but there's this one quote that hit me so hard. This lady says in it, she says, aim for nothing and you'll hit nothing.
Ooh.
In it. I was like, first time I heard that, I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And then I was like, oh, wait a minute.
It hit.
Like,
You feel it, man. Sometimes people say things and it doesn't sink in straight away, and then you realize it's got some wisdom behind it. You're like, bro, that took a while to kick. Like you can relate to it because you'll be going through something in life and you're like, wow, that actually, that
especially
works.
if it catches you at the right time, any quote, and like specifically with that, and like 'cause it's just very similar to what we're talking about now.
Yeah.
And it's like and the whole celebrating thing, like it's like you do you if you're looking for, if I was having this conversation with some group of friends literally last night, how it's like if you're looking forward to the weekend because you want downtime, but then you're just going to spend it going out clubbing. Like socialization is important. It keeps you fucking sane. Like
Especially
100%.
through this time, yeah.
Like being able to like, and that's like for me, that's half the reason I go skating is because it's like there's actually community down there. I can link people, I can talk to individuals, you know. But like outside of that, if you're just going to fucking like, if you go into a club and you're just like, because you're not socializing in a club, you're all drinking in the same room, no one can hear each other.
No.
You know, and like sometimes, like, don't get me wrong, like music's great.
Yeah.
Don't like dancing's great. I DJ a little bit and I love that as well.
Yeah.
And but like it's just a different, I don't think, like, especially when I'm there, like no one's there for the fucking music. People are just there to just
they want a bit of fun. They want someone to go home with.
And like they want to feel like it's like their night, you know.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, when I drink I get in the groove too. I have a little dance, but there's only so much you can do with that.
How often does that even happen for you?
Oh man, the last time I went to a club was ages ago. It's just not for me. It's something you do when you just turn 18. You're like, I can drink, I can go out. And then for some people, they're like, okay, I'm gonna keep this up, an image. But then for some people, there's just like, I got stuff to do, man. Like, why am I still doing this? What is the purpose? Everything has a purpose. And if you don't feel like you're going anywhere, you should maybe cut out these habits. That's what they are. They're just habits, really. Or
it's
cravings. That's not the word for it. It's like people are searching.
Routine, almost.
Yeah, that's it. Routine. As soon, like, because a lot of people work Monday to Friday, so that Saturday and Sunday they have, or from Friday night, is their downtime. Really, everyone's due their downtime. But some people are just like, right, we've got to go out. I've got to have a glass in my hand. I've got to go pub. But these habits can be costly as well, because even if someone doesn't drink a lot, you might have a packet of cigarettes you're buying, travel as well. Yeah. If you're not drink driving, I don't know. Hopefully not.
And then, unless this is what I was saying earlier, same with like matey boy with, you know, not like he's burning a candle both ends. He's not even making ends meet and he's still buying a tens. Like,
it's hard, man. Literally, like, if you can find that time or that seriousness to dedicate to a bad habit, you can find it to do something for good. If you find that tenner, somehow, you'll be like, right, I've got to buy a packet of cigarettes. Yeah. You can find that money to do something productive.
It's addiction, I think. A lot of it. It's just people cope with addiction.
Bad habits.
And
man.
People just always have this mentality where it's like, nah, I'll do it later. I'll do it tomorrow. I'm like, there's no set time to start anything. Yeah. No, like start, stop, and start. And it's the same thing like with, like when I started gym for the first time, I was like, yeah, I'm going to start gym in the new year. So I started in October the year before that. Yeah. You know, it was like, I'm not going to, you know.
New Year's resolution.
Exactly. Like everyone's like, oh, for New Year, I'm going to start going to the gym. I was like, yeah, I'll do that. But actually, I know I'll start in the new year. I know so confidently I'll do that. I'm actually going to start now in October.
I'm glad you said that because, you know, the classic, oh, new year, new me sort of type thing.
Oh, I fucking hate it. Yeah.
Bro, that's so last year. Like, I see that on stories and I'm going to do this, going to do that. Or even like motivational posts. It's like,
just,
start now. Like,
start now, and whatever you do, see it through. Yeah. Like to the best of your abilities. Like, don't.
Why are you waiting for Santa to come?
You know, like, it's like.
Yeah.
You don't need a like a date. You don't need a date to tell you when to start something. You don't need, Yeah, you don't need to wait for the stars to align. Like,
Nah, that's how I used to think things worked. Like I used to think, right, I won't do this now. I'll wait till I've got this, wait till I've got that, then I'll be ready. And those things don't come as quick as you think. So you got to start making ends meet from early, even if you haven't got all the equipment that you need or whatever. Like literally, just the perfect time to start is now.
yeah,
Just literally, it could be thinking of a name for your organization or your movement. It could be who do you want to do it with.
baby steps.
Yeah,
Like,
small steps.
set up a network, or
A website.
or if it's like a new hobby, just like find out what the basics are.
Of course.
Like I do a lot of stuff. I'm like, there's no doubt about it. Like I've got a lot of shit on the go, hobbies and stuff like that. And but I hate when I just like have a phase. I hate phases. It's like I want to see stuff through.
Yeah, I get that.
Like I had like, I had like a little bit of a golf phase at one point.
Yeah.
A little bit of a tennis phase.
Tennis is good.
I still have like a fucking spenny racket in the loft somewhere that I've been waiting to shift.
I'll give you a game.
Yeah. I literally like haven't played since I was like 13, 14.
How's your
Used to play
serve?
bass guitar as well.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So guitar, piano, anything else?
Well, that's the thing. Like I was learning guitar as a kid when I should have been learning piano. Like I started Latin guitar in primary school.
Latin guitar.
Hated it because it's like you put your little foot up on a little stool.
Oh yeah.
And you hold the guitar fancy and you play.
Never heard of that.
It's a bit dead. And then like I eventually was like, yeah, I want to do like electric guitar. I want to start learning like, I want to learn like Nickelback, back then like, and then moved on to bass because like, bass makes sense. I look like a bass guitarist.
What is that look?
It's just like the lanky one in the background. He's always got a bass in his hand, so I thought I'll do that. But then like when I dropped out of school and I had a lot of free time, I just like I had the piano downstairs and I was just like, fuck it. And like, let's see if I can learn something. And then it just was an addiction. I was like, what can I learn next?
Yeah, that's great. When you got that mentality, you can apply that to anything, can't you?
The mentality of just literally like keeping on and being, and persistence.
Don't get caught up.
Yeah. And we're back onto discipline again.
How much time do you spend on your phone?
It used to, I was fucking sick before lockdown.
Yeah.
My phone screen time was at an all-time low before lockdown. It's bad at the moment.
Really?
I hate it, man. I used to have a Instagram used to tell me when I'd spent 25 minutes on the app.
Wow.
Ping it every time.
Is that what you set up?
Yeah, so I set that up to be like, you've been on the app 25 minutes. I'm like, cool. And then I won't touch it for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
My screen time's like 2 hours.
Are you a story person or a post person? What do you watch? What content do you like?
Just everything. It literally is, you just fall into it, like
It's a trap.
I hate the explore page. I wish I could cut it out.
Bro, that is
away from me.
That is the worst page ever. Do you know why? Have you ever gone onto your phone, look at notes, you want to look at something important, when's this delivery coming, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You go onto that's why I don't have Instagram on my home screen. I have it on another page.
That's
so if I really want to go to it,
I need to
do that. It's the biggest, best thing you'll make on your phone. So it's not on my home screen. So when I go on it, when you go onto Instagram to search for a page, what do you see? The explore page.
Yeah.
And what is that full of? Loads of bullshit stuff. I get food pages because I like watching food. Well, I don't like it. It's just programmed.
Yeah.
So I see food, I see sports, I see skating, I see all these things. And you're thinking, oh, that's cool. You get onto a video, you like it. Another video, they're just constantly, you got the reels, like. And then
just
you come off the app and you're like, oh, okay. And then you don't even remember what you went on your phone for.
Oh, for sure, bro. It's like for a minute, I'm like, do I have a brain tumor? Am I forgetting stuff? You know what I mean?
Bro.
But it's this fucking social media. It's like...
It's garbage.
Like, I started really hating myself. I was using Snapchat to just dictate my life to like everyone. Every day it'll be like, oh, funny thing in my room. Or like, oh yeah, I'm going out and doing this with the boys. Snapchat. Send it to like all my best friends on Snapchat. And then put it on my story, stuff like that. One day I was like, fuck it. Like, I'm only going to reply to Snapchats from now on. Didn't get a snap for like 2 weeks. And then I was like, okay, uninstall. Haven't looked back.
Snapchat, yeah?
Snapchat.
Oh, same here. You know what? I don't see the point in having more than one social platform unless you really need it, if you're pushing something. But if for personal use, I used to have Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, dabbled in Twitter, but I didn't really know how to use it.
Yeah, same. I can't get on Twitter.
So Twitter, I deactivated my account. Snapchat, deactivated. Facebook was probably Snapchat was the last thing I deactivated. I think that's dated, that app.
Twitter?
Snapchat.
Oh no, yeah, sorry. Yeah, Snapchat is like every now and then, like if I'm really like, because I do fall into this when I get up to go do something, I'm like, I'm gonna sit on my bed for a bit and have a scroll, and every now and then I will just like see what Snapchat's saying, and
another reason to go on your phone, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
And
it does feel just out of date though. It's like, I feel too old as well at this point.
Oh yeah.
I feel like it's something like, if you're over 21 and you're still Snapchatting, it's like, are you all right, bro?
It's like, you know? WYD, bro.
For big sure. Time. And like Instagram does all the stuff Snapchat does, but better anyway.
Snapchat came a long way from when you couldn't even do videos. I mean,
yeah, but everyone just stole Snapchat shit. Like, Snapchat was sick, but they should have fucking covered their asses, because then Instagram copied them.
The filters.
And Facebook copied them with the, like, you got Facebook stories, Instagram stories.
You even got WhatsApp stories now.
Fucking hell as well.
And I'm sad enough to watch it now and then sometimes.
I don't think I have WhatsApp. I have WhatsApp because it's like, that's always like that would be like where the work group chat was for me. And course. And then like I use it to send like bigger files to people.
Yeah. It's what it is. I think
that's more, I see WhatsApp more as like a tool than like, it's not.
I just see it as message.
It's not as bad as social stuff.
Oh no, in there. You got group chats. Every group chat I get put in, whatever platform it's on, I always mute it.
Yeah. Instant mute.
Straight up, and I tell people I mute it. Only reason I can't, I'm busy enough.
If you need me, at me, you know.
That's it. Call me. You know, like the days of, like obviously back in the day, they wouldn't have all these devices you can use, but from when you got phone calls, you can call anyone, any place now, even abroad. They've like integrated that into contracts and shit. So that's enough for me. When it comes to social media, I've started to use voice notes a lot now.
Yeah. Because
that just gets the message. Typing can be a bit long, especially if you're tired. So I send voice notes, or I call someone, or video call.
Yeah.
I've video called you a few times.
And it's foreign for me. I'm not used to it.
Yeah, if you got the 4G, it's calm. But if you're quay out, if you're in the lakes, it might not tough, work.
Mate. Unlimited data though, so I'm sound.
Oh, all right. Show off. Yeah, but I don't watch TV either.
Oh yeah, I don't know why my mum and dad even pay for a TV license. Get out of here.
Yeah, my dad.
On like Netflix or anything like that?
Yes, now and then, but I don't own a Netflix account. You just family share thing. Yeah. My sister has an account, and literally my mum and my dad use it the most, and my sister probably uses it as well. But I only watch something if I've heard about it. It's very rare. I turn the TV on and say, "Oh, I want to watch this. I've heard about this." Oh, if I've heard about it, maybe.
Yeah.
Other than that, not really trying to watch a screen, because when you think about it, all you're doing is just you're stationary, and you're not doing anything.
Well, that's just, like, I think especially if there's a lot of garbage TV that just like, it's not good for the brain. Like, it just puts weird shit in your head. My mum she's like, you know, This Morning, do you know that? Like,
same, my mum.
She comes on, she's like, I don't know, this is like a really little petty example, but a petty example that fucks me off is like, she comes to me and my sister for like, you know, prime example, fashion advice. She's like, oh yeah, I want to look at. Mum always thinks my mum can't dress really. Like, no disrespect, Mum, I'll put you on blast right now. But,
shout out to Mum.
But like, literally, like, she can't. Like, I try and like, I remember I tried to get like a flannel shirt to wear as like a comfy around the house thing. From Jolly Brown, never wore it.
Really?
And I was like, she just wears some like shitty fucking Sainsbury's cardigan. But like, I'll put her on something. I'll be like, look, mum, like, get like wider jeans, you know, get some, you know,
Some
you're a
comfortable
mum,
stuff.
get mum jeans. You
Of
know?
course, awesome dad jeans.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anything like that, like a little bit, like they're supposed to, the faded adds to it, you know, and then
Yeah.
she'll be like, no one wears that. But then like a week later, fucking Gokwan or whatever his name is on this morning, and he's telling all the mums, wide jeans, everyone.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, on this morning they're saying wide jeans, and I'm like, yeah, mum, I told you that. Like,
I've been saying that.
I've been on that.
My mum watches that too, and I don't know how often she watches it. Normally, if I can come home early in the morning and spend like a little bit of time at home, I'll do that. Like I'll even watch it with her, but that's because I rarely do that.
Yeah. Bit of loose women, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Banger.
bit of loose women. I mean, some of them are cute.
Sometimes you gotta see what the girls are saying.
Yeah, I mean, you got a few nice ones on there. As well. They're a bit older though.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, what you're into, innit? Yeah.
no, it's a judge-free zone here.
Yeah, we don't judge. We
But
don't
now,
discriminate.
like, film-wise, TV-wise, there are like blessings. You know, I think if you're watching, like, so for me, I'm quite into. I have Letterboxd, which is like film social media.
Yeah, is that a subscription or something?
No, it's free. It's like a app. You can log films you watch, review them. You can see what other people watch. You follow your mates, and you can see what they've been watching.
Got ya.
And like over lockdown, I like gave myself like a quest. Like I was watching like a film a day, because it's like, especially like some films, man, help like drive you.
Yeah.
It gives you the right. Like some films just have the perfect mind, and then even then you're just appreciating the art. You're not watching it for entertainment. Like I was like, I mean, I say that like, yeah, fucking like Marvel films and that. Like I'll watch all that shit because it's entertaining as hell.
Yeah, of course.
But like the next day I'll watch like a Paul Thomas Anderson film, or I'll watch a Tarkovsky film, and like you all of a sudden you're opening up this universe of like, I watched a film called Stalker, directed by Tarkovsky. Nice. And like it's just existential, man. It's like, it's basically about a group of it's real old, I think it's the 80s or 70s. This guy called he's a stalker. He takes these two lads out into what's called the zone, which is this place where like weird shit happens, because they're trying to find a room, and if memory serves me correct, this room grants them their like wildest dreams. But like this whole time, it's just this very philosophical, like,
it's crazy.
Like life's questions are being answered as you're watching it, and they get to the room and they're like, "Is the room even real?" And it gets like,
that sounds mad, like trippy.
Shit like that. Like, I'll get the boys round, sink into the sofa, and that's like that's a good night for me.
Of course, like everyone has a different idea of a good night. Some people like nights out, some people like nights in. I'm more of a night in guy. And I don't even have to be with homies. Like, I'm good on my ones.
Yeah.
I appreciate the homies though. Like, without them, you would feel kind of like lonely.
Yeah, I need to I think post-lockdown, I need to spend more time. Like, even like, I can't remember the last time I had like a mate just come hang out. You don't do that at this age, do you?
I don't know. I don't know whether it's this whole lockdown situation or what, but the game's changed a lot.
It's like, if I see mates, it's either we're going to go and grab food, or we're going to go for a coffee, or we're going to go shopping together. Like, you don't like, I don't know if you ever did, but back in the day, like, my mate would just come round and we just sit in my room all day.
Yeah.
Or like
literally.
Shit like that doesn't happen anymore.
Not really. Yeah. I don't know. Something changed big time. But at the same time, I like to have a lot of time to myself. Like, would you call them introverts? Someone who doesn't, is that someone who doesn't
introverts and extroverts, you know?
Okay, so I don't speak a lot, right? So introvert.
Yeah.
I used to get really awkward, like around people, like when you're out in socials, everyone's chatting. I just always liked time alone.
Yeah, for sure.
But now I literally like I'm Gucci with anyone. Like I could just meet, and I've taught myself something recently. Well, not taught yourself, but it's just stepping out your comfort zone. I'm all about that now. You either sink or you swim.
Yeah.
It's always a learning curve, and I just start approaching people now. Like some people, you might have seen them, you might not have seen them. It could be a complete stranger. Start a little convo with them. I mean,
oh, for sure.
Like, how bad can it be? Like, what's the worst that's going to happen? They're going to walk away or something. But yeah, I'm just so open to connecting with people now.
No, for sure. I definitely think I'd never call myself an extrovert. At this point, I think extroversion and introversion they don't like
Exist. Well, yeah,
There's you get people who prefer isolation, solitude. I get that, and you get people who prefer who need to be around people.
yeah,
and that's fine. But like for me, like I've always been an introvert in that like
yeah.
By definition, but like recently, like I don't want to be fucking in my room by myself all this time. And if I am in my room, like I can't just sit down and read a book or something. Like I'm like talking to people online.
Yeah,
you know,
active.
So it's kind of hard to gauge where the parameters of stuff like that is, and whether like what part of it is stimulating you and what part of it's no good, you know? Because like if you're like, I'm an extrovert so I need to be out clubbing all the time, but I'm like, is that doing you any good mentally though?
Probably
bro?
not.
Do you know what I mean?
It's all you've really got. If you don't like something or you're not comfortable with something, it's always good to go at it like head on.
Yeah,
that's the only way you're going to tackle that obstacle. Like you just really need to do things what you're not comfortable with.
Like are you avoiding alone time because you don't want to be alone with your own thoughts, so you make yourself go out? And
it can be either way. If you're not comfortable with being alone, you might force yourself out, but if you're comfortable being alone, you might be missing
people, you know?
you like, even with when I had the lockdown isolation 10 days, right, I felt the change. Literally, like I was so used to socializing with people, and then when you got to stay inside, you're not even allowed to the shop, and you kind of, I don't want to say you're starting again, but it's like, oh, I can speak to people again.
Yeah, no. I mean, it is. You're almost like a little reset in your brain.
Yeah.
Like, and I literally like, that's been what this has felt like this whole period of just like these isolation stages of not being able to go out or anything. Like it genuinely feels, I've never actually had to properly isolate. I've isolated for my own sake a couple of times where not legally I had to, but when I've even just like not with the bare minimum contact of just like those first couple of lockdowns, it hits you, man. It's tough. Like I don't get how people have ever been able to, like I've been like, I had to be out every day cycling, doing something, seeing, you know, hearing birds or something like that. It's
man, it's beautiful out here.
It's like that winter, man, tough.
Yeah, it was very hard. No one saw it coming, to be honest. Well, some people maybe, but yeah, literally it just took everyone by surprise. And then there was a lot of like, obviously for the economy, businesses were affected. Imagine all the amount of places that are just gone.
Yeah, I mean, stuff's like, we're going to be, I mean, if you really want to get into that, like we will be probably dealing with the repercussions of the last year for a while.
Oh yeah.
Like I've seen fuel at the moment. Fuel's fucking horrible.
What, the price?
It's getting worse, man, as well.
You know,
even just going up north, I saw my first 170 up north.
Wow.
Horrible. Tax is going to go up. And I even think that's why Chicken George went up by £1, bro.
Yeah, but that pound is going to be a big difference to them.
But that's the thing, in independence, like poor, like, you know, Jolly Brown studio.
Yeah.
Like they had to close down properly, but they do have like they have their little thing now. But like, I think that's like, it's not something that's going to be sustainable.
A lot of people are doing like mobile things now. So, because a lot of people are working from home, the people that can't work from home, they're doing like setting up stalls or vans or things like that, which also works on like branching out because you're hitting different audiences as well.
Yeah.
But I think, the way people see things now business wise, it may help them because they're approaching it a way that they've never done it before, but it's almost like they have no choice to.
It's almost improv. Like it's like, oh shit, you can't follow any guide right now.
Yeah, straight up.
A lot of people, I mean, a lot of people, even the pub down the road is a prime example. Just they went crazy with like options. The pub down the road set up like a barn out back, which was technically outside seating, but it was also inside seating. And he turned the front of the pub into a shop.
Nice.
So, and I think he's now going to make it a permanent, like he's going to have like a little farm shop there.
Yeah.
And that was pretty cool. And I know like a lot of companies have had to do that. The sewing shop that I used to go and like do my sewing stuff.
Yeah.
They've had to close, and now they just work from home, work purely as private alterations and stuff like that. I don't know if they even do classes at this point.
But it can benefit them because working from home, you're sort of not paying 2 bunches of rent.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like the main thing is they're probably going to end up making more money.
I hope so, because
Godspeed to them, you know.
Yeah, imagine people being told, "Oh yeah, it will only be this amount of time," and then boom, 2 years.
It's a whole conversation. It's a whole conversation if we can get into that.
Another day, bro.
Yeah, innit.
Literally. But nah, since that, I've just been trying to up my game. I think everyone's just upping their game.
Oh, for sure. You
Cool.
I like one final question is did you ever think, or do you want Scurv to be end game? Do you want that? If you could, would you be like, that's my full time?
Yeah, but
or will it always be a side thing? Like, what's your?
I think it's at the moment it's I want it to be my main thing, not just because of income, but just to be able to work to your own device and manage everything yourself. But because I'm hungry for it, or we're hungry for it, literally I do want it to be my main thing, because you're reaching so many people and helping people out. It's just amazing, that just connecting with the community, the amount of people I've met and all that. But my end game, I think this will be the start to my end game, but hopefully the opportunities that arise once some years down the line, I think it could open up to so many things.
Yeah.
Just like nowadays, people, it can just create a bunch of like, just chances for you to just excel. You might think that, I didn't know I was going down this route.
No,
like, when I left school,
you never do. You never really do with stuff like this, I don't think.
Yeah, when I left school, I wasted like 2 years of college, didn't fulfill it, blah blah blah. A lot of people went uni, all that stuff, but I never saw myself going this way, and it's kind of a blessing, because my hobby got me into what I do now.
Yeah,
and because I'm juggling a lot of things in my hands now, and yeah, I do want to do that as my main thing. But at the same time, I think I have a greater purpose as well. But this will be the start of it, definitely.
I feel that.
Yeah, I mean, what about yourself? What's the move?
Well, that's the thing, man. Lockdown made me really think, and I'm at a very, I don't want to say scary time, but like, I didn't want to go back to retail. I got too comfortable.
Yeah.
I thought that was the right thing for me, but on a whim, like with this whole uni thing, I was like, I never really was into it. I hated the idea of uni, but I was like, I want to get into the fashion industry. And
100.
And like, I was just like talking around, and like every time I looked at an internship, they were like, oh yeah, what's your degree? And I was like, oh, I don't have one.
Yeah.
And then I did a short course over lockdown with Central St. Martin's.
Okay.
So it was just on Zoom, and this, like, she was quite a cool, I can't remember where she was from, but I want to say Sri Lankan designer.
Okay.
She was really cool, and
everything's on Zoom now.
We did like a little project. Well, yeah, this is the Zoom surgeons, like, but yeah, basically I did this short course over 6 weeks, loved it, and like afterwards I was emailing the professor. I was like, "Oh, do you think I should I go to uni?" Like, I'm kind of like, I felt the most driven I've ever felt in months, in years, just doing this little short course.
That's good.
And I applied for Central St. Martin's, even though I wasn't qualified.
Winging it.
Like, because I've got good enough GCSEs. I haven't got any A levels apart from an AS level, which is a D in product design.
Okay, I got the same.
Yeah. Sick.
I loved it.
I loved product design, but I mean, story for another day. I went for a very dark patch during sixth form, so
yeah,
I ended up dropping everything. But yeah, and then so I just I wrote this banging personal statement, and I remember I had a big sob story about how I'm going to the sewing shop every day, and my old textiles teacher, she was teaching me, like, you know, she was like my sensei and all this shit.
Yeah.
And then I put together a portfolio of like my photography, my drawings, a couple dresses I've designed in the past that I was doing at the sewing shop.
You're doing bits, bro.
Yeah, and like I was just like, I applied, and like my parents and the girl I'm talking to at the moment, she was like, apply for everything, and I was, and like I'm sitting here and I'm having like this bit of like a goodwill hunting crisis where I'm like, is this like my path? Am I like, is this what I have to do now? So I ignored everyone, didn't apply for anything else apart from Central St. Martin's. I was like, if I get that, that's my sign, you know, if I get that. And then like crazy shit happened. Like I applied with my personal statement, but then they were like, yeah, we'll request a portfolio, but my email got archived, never got the email. And then I got a chase up email 3 days before the hand in, and they were like, you've got 3 days left to hand in your portfolio. And I was like, what? And I rushed, I put the portfolio together, bursted it out, handed it in. And then, yeah, like beginning of August, end of July, I was just like, yeah, I got a job at British Antarctic Survey. I was like, okay, I'll sink into this. This will be my job. I'm not going to go to uni. Got an email and they were like, you're in. And I fucking like cried, and I was like, yo.
That must have felt like an achievement, man, because some people get into those positions, but they don't really want it. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing. Like, that's what like uni always felt like for me. Like when I was people were going off to uni, so you're just doing that because it's the thing that you do.
It's a trend, yeah.
You know, it's like that's like and like I even now it's like people like I'm gonna do any of that freshest shit. I'm only going to uni for uni. Like I'm gonna go up. I don't know if I'm even gonna make any friends, to be honest. Like I'll network, don't get me wrong, bro. Like I'll like any opportunity I'm gonna try and find a way to elevate.
Of course.
But like I'm not fussed about the scene, the nightlife or anything like that.
Nah.
I'm purely there to like push myself, but it's scary, man. And
there's nothing in it for you. All that other stuff is just extras. Like just focus and have your end goal.
There's a Kierkegaard quote, which is to dare is to lose one's footing momentarily. To not dare is to lose one's mind. And like,
oh, bro,
that's like I was like when I applied, like that was my dare. But now it's like right now, like it's fucking scary. Like, cause like I no longer can I pretend I hate what I'm doing.
Yeah, you know? Of course.
No, like I actually like I'm doing something I enjoy, and will be, and it's like it's scary to just think about that.
It always is. It's just like jumping into something new again. Comfort zones, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like you've just got to get out there and do it. Like a lot of people are talkers nowadays, isn't it? Like,
well, that's the thing, and I appreciate when you the things you've been doing when I've been trying to elevate this whole Cozy Boys thing. So it's like it's not all talk. Like I literally like Cozy Boys is always gonna be a little side thing for me, and I love like it's just a community thing. But like you were saying, how you've been meeting people who elevate you. In this case, you've elevated me and pushed me to actually get some shit like going, and like you know, and I'm like gas, like even just like spitballing the whole fucking Scurv Cozy Boy deck. Like I was just like,
I can't wait for that, man.
Mate, honestly, I think Barney, for example, I think he's given up. I don't think he thinks it's happening. I'm like, nah, trust. Nah. It's on its way. It's pending.
It's on site, bro. It's gonna happen.
But yeah, like I think I'll be doing stuff like that, and because of uni, and like I'll only be at uni for like 4 days a week. I have all this time that I can also designate to these.
Of course, designate, don't procrastinate.
Exactly. Well, luckily, I can break I've broke the cycle of procrastination before, so I can do it again.
It's horrible. It's an easy one to fall back into.
that's the thing. Lockdown just put me on my ass. Like I said, screen time on my phone's disgusting.
Yeah, like even 25 minutes, it doesn't sound like a lot, but that's a lot.
Yeah.
Because it's not all at the same time, is it? It's like throughout the day, or maybe it could be at the same time, but I'm sure there's people
Well, you can
with
fall into it.
hours.
Like, I just like, I'll be like, oh yeah, dinner's gonna be ready in like 10 minutes. I'll just lay on my phone.
Yeah.
And you're just scrolling Vines. Well, not Vines. Fucking hell, I'm showing away.
Yeah.
Oh boy, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you gotta show support as well. If people are pushing stuff on their social medias, it's not just a personal page. Drop a comment.
Oh no,
drop a like,
no, that's the thing. Like 100%. Like one of the big the big stuff, because like Insta's like definitely highest usage app for me.
Yeah.
So what I've made sure is like, don't follow celebrities, don't follow anyone like that. Follow my locals. Follow my mate's art page. You know, always like comment, elevate. You know,
that's what I'm about.
Break out of the algorithm. You know.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Like the public figures and all these people, unless they're really inspiring you, you don't really need to keep up with them, because if you're keeping up with someone else, you're not keeping up with yourself.
Yeah, for sure. And it's even just like, you know, like people who's like, how are you following like the Jenners? How are you following? Like I've got no disrespect to be honest, I almost have admiration for the Jenners and Kardashians, but I'm not going to follow them on Insta, and I'm not going to follow. I'm not even following my favorite actors or anything like that. Like,
yeah, I follow my favorite skater.
Who's that?
Ishod.
Oh, fair.
Yeah, like.
I mean, he's like, but he's not like ground, like, is in terms of
like celebrity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. More humble. Like I'd follow humble people who aren't too.
Man, I don't even think I follow Ellis Frost anymore.
Man, yeah, local celeb.
It's all right. He's going to be on this podcast, so
that's good.
I'll make it happen.
Yeah, man.
Even though it's not a skate podcast.
No, it isn't.
But
you just have skate homies.
No, he just seems like a cool brain to pick.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, he's interesting. He's serious about what he does. Never met the guy, but
no. But yeah. Next up, I think I've got a couple guys in mind, very different walks of life coming up soon, hopefully.
That's what it's about, man. You got to have people who...
Diversity is key, man.
Oh, yeah, diversity. That's the key. Seriously, like, people come from all different backgrounds. And you're like, what has this person got in store?
Different backgrounds, different opinions.
Yeah,
I feel like we said a lot of stuff's key at the moment, but, like, literally, and I spoke about this last episode, literally, like, the importance of having a diverse group of opinions around you, like just to keep you grounded, just so you're aware, even if their opinion's wrong, you got to know that opinion still exists.
You've got to have acceptance of other people, because people will be very harsh reacting to what you think, even if what you think is wrong.
Yeah.
But mostly, if you have a grounded sort of opinion, people will always have something to say, but they won't react in the best way. And they'll tell you what they think you should be thinking, or what they think. But I'm very open. If someone has a different opinion to me, I'm just like, okay, I get where you're coming from, but I still have my opinion.
Yeah, open is open mind. But the only reason you have your opinion in the first place is because you've got it off from other people.
Yeah, exactly. You know? But you've got to be very honest when it comes to your opinion, because... and
be prepared to change.
Yeah. A lot of people are stubborn, and they're fixed in their ways, and whatever they think... everyone around them has got to think in their mind, but that's a part of freedom. It's just like when you grow up, you're taught to do this, do that, and then go, and then you die, you know, sad times.
Yeah.
But you've got to break the cycle. Some people will look at you like weirdos when you're doing things. You're like, don't worry, bro, I got a plan. Like, people are so...
Pathfinders.
What's that?
Pathfinders, mate. People are walking like a road, and you're
you're going into the grass, you're going off the path, you're going into the woods,
off the beaten track.
Yeah, exactly. So people will look at you a bit funny when they see you doing things, and like, okay, why is he doing that? Or they might not think that that's going to get you anywhere, but eventually you'll get the last laugh. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I think it all comes I mean, it's all a part of growth. It all comes full circle. That's why it's really interesting having people like Noah on, who are like,
Oh yeah,
he's just starting,
kid's amazing, bro.
And then you got people who are like mid-cycle, and this, and that's the thing I could talk more about in the future. But it's been really fun having you share this space. I think this is the longest period of time we've ever spoken.
I think so, bro. I mean, everyone's got their own schedule, so it's like sometimes it's high and by, sometimes it's a little chill, But
Well,
no, I appreciate you having me, bro.
It's really good to have you on. I mean, I've had some long chats with you down at the park and with Luke and with Noah. And
of course.
I'll space out you skater ruffians. So maybe in a couple months' time, I'll get Luke on.
100. That should be good, man.
But
it's been beautiful.
Thanks, man. Go get an early night, mate, because you've got on the grind.
Got a grind to chase.
Yeah.
No skateboard.
No, mate.
No,
good thing those
grind.
lights come on these days.
Yeah, that's a blessing too.
All right, cool. And that is us, Dunzo.